Winter, and this is Confusional Arousals. I have to start off with an apology. After recording the previous episode on AI and J. Edgar Hoover, I realized that it ended on a negative note. And I look back on the rest of my episodes, and they were all generally positive. There was stuff to do, of course, improvements to be accomplished, but they didn't put forth a feeling of helplessness. I soon realized why. I have told you I am a nihilist. I don't believe that a true two-party political system exists in our country. I have said that there's only one party, the party of the rich, and I still believe that. So, why was I in the dumps? I recorded that episode just before Trump's inauguration, and that made me feel anxious for the future. But why? If I believe that politicians all have the same agenda, do I care who's in office? And that is a valid question. As a child, being terrorized in public school, I developed an overly healthy paranoia. I am only paranoid if people aren't out to get me. Most of the time, they are. The only difference I see in the two parties is that one gives us a false hope that things are going to change for the better, and the other party says that if we root out the evil amongst us, we can be happy. The first time Trump entered the White House, I wrote this poem. Inauguration Day, January 2017. President Trump. I still can't get my mind around it. Get over it. Sour grapes. What done is done. Driving home from work, turning into my neighborhood that I have been living in for 3 years. Usually I wave to the African-American kid playing basketball, sinking baskets in his temporary hoop set up on the road. He was not there today. 2 white kids on their bikes, standing just beyond his driveway, throwing suspicious looks in my direction as I passed. Dressed in camouflage gear, plastic AKs slung over their shoulders, a taste of things to come. I think I actually felt worse about the 2 kids than the actual election. Jump ahead about 4 years. In October 2024, 1 month before this election, I was riding my bike around the neighborhood, the end of my commute from school. When the weather is bearable, I ride my bike to work in an effort to save the environment. Delusional, I know. But you have to do something, right? There was a guy, maybe in his early 20s, shooting a bow and arrow across the street at a target he put on his wooden fence. It was one of those hunting bows. The shooter's intention, by using this weapon, is to go out and kill something. I live in a quiet neighborhood. There are kids living on both sides of this guy. Isn't it possible that he could slip and the arrow could miss its mark? Isn't there some safer place to practice? But he chose his neighborhood. The man also had a big Trump flag flying in his front yard. Political flags are banned by the HOA. Just as I got out of range, although I can't tell you for sure what the range is on those things, a kid on a dirt bike buzzed past me. He was going 35, 40 miles an hour. Dirt bikes are illegal on residential streets, and the speed limit in my development is 25 miles an hour. I managed to get home without any further incident, but it took me at least a week to feel better about my neighborhood. It just seems that people believe that the rules don't apply to them, and I fear things will only grow worse. Here's another story to explain why I'm getting paranoid. If you have been listening to my podcast, you know that I have been using AI music generators for my cutesy little songs at the end of each episode. You type in 199 characters and it spits out a song. I'm going to assume that you have already listened to the previous podcast, so there will be no spoilers here. This is what I wrote in the prompt section. Anything you can do, AI can do better and quicker than you. That was a nod to the musical Annie Get Your Gun. Back to the prompt. Cross-dressing bureaucrats giving piggybacks to billionaires, telling us to watch our backs while they loot the lives in front of us. I hit composed. Usually I see a little timer thing going on for about a minute before the song magically appears. This time, an error message came up that read, "Song description flagged for moderation." This spooked me. I don't really think there's anything terrible in what I wrote. Anything you can do, AI can do better and quicker than you. There's not an AI company out there that doesn't want us to believe that. Cross-dressing bureaucrats giving piggybacks to billionaires, telling us to watch our backs while they loot the lives in front of us. I think that whether you are on the right or the left, you don't like the fact that rich people have more to say in our government than the average person does. Is it the cross-dressing then? Well, 1. J. Edgar Hoover did like to dress up fancy when he wasn't chasing down commies. And 2, I have no 2, but maybe some ultra-conservative group didn't want to give cross-dressing bureaucrats a seat at the table. I put my theory to the test. In the song description, I wrote the following. Cross-dressing, dressing crossly. I can't wait to tell the bossly. I would not become a poet laureate for that one. Regardless, it spit out a tune in record time. Let me read to you the first couple of verses and the chorus. Verse 1. Cross-dressing, flip the script. In the mirror, I take a sip. Have no idea what that means. Swagger on, I can't resist. Feeling bold, I clench my fists. Do we really clench our fists when we feel bold? Anyway, verse 2. Breaking free from labels tight, walking tall into the night, whispered secrets all around, but my confidence is sound. That's not a bad verse. Chorus, dressing crossly, feeling fine, can't wait to tell the boss it's time. I'm a whirlwind on the rise, watch me spark and light the skies. So the program had no problem with cross-dressers in the workplace. DEI lives! Yay! Next, I put in the AI bit about being better than people. No problem with that. Got a song. So the problem must be making fun of billionaires. Wrong again. Here's a little something from Piggyback and Ploys.
Self-sunning cats in suits so sly, piggybacks to cash-filled skies, billionaires with golden ties, looting lives with no goodbyes. Politicians playing their game, telling us to shoulder blame.
So here's my quandary. I don't like being subjected to moderation without being told what is being moderated. I don't even like the word moderation. It seems like such an innocuous word. Moderation. But words like that have always made me the most uncomfortable. It is a word you use when you're trying to show very little emotion, like you are handling the situation logically and objectively. There's no such thing as complete objectivity. There's always the perceiver's point of view in their argument. A word like that is used to make the other person feel small, like they're not being rational. What's the matter? Afraid of a little moderation? Creepy. Franz Kafka wrote a story called The Trial, in which the main character is on trial for something, but is never told what it is. He must try to figure out the crime himself. In the end, he doesn't, and is executed. Yes, I know I'm not on trial. Not presently, anyway. I don't know who is doing the moderation, or what my supposed offense is. If AI is doing the moderating, I know I would be in a lot of trouble. Ever since the Cinderella's end scene reading debacle, things haven't been the same between us. If it is a person doing the moderation, my fate might be even worse. I have a tendency to grate on people. Whichever way it goes, I'm thinking I live in the dystopian future I've always feared. So, let us now circle back to the bow and arrow shooter. We live in a world where we are constantly moderated. We are bombarded with conspiracy theories, making us scared and angry about pretty much everything. That arrow shooter wanted to tell the world that he will defend himself. Nobody's taken away his constitutional rights. We want to protect our freedoms while taking away the rights of others just because they are different from us. Let me tell you something. We all are different. If we get rid of all those people, eventually, and there are no others, we will still be afraid. We will start consuming ourselves in an effort for purification. Now, I promised you that I would not leave you feeling hopeless. I might have to do a second apology episode, but I fear it will only get worse. There, feeling any better? So here is how I am going to proceed. I am only in charge of myself. I can only control so much. So in times of trouble, I will think small, taking small steps, taking small bites. I will try to make my immediate environment better. Maybe I will put my dishes on the drying rack away, or put the book I took out a year ago to give to a friend who is no longer around. Maybe I should put the book back on the shelf. In my small circle of friends and family, I could check in on them, make sure that they are all right. There are 1,000 little things I could do to make the people around me a little happier. Listen to them, acknowledge their pain, and actually see them for who they are. The things that make me sad or angry are things beyond my control, so why worry about them? If I, when my mind is clear, think of something positive that I could do that will help a bigger circle of people, then I am obligated to do that. And all of a sudden, I have a little more control. In the Dharma Bums, Jack Kerouac wrote that it all ends in tears anyway. That might be true. I think it is true. But we don't have to live each second of our life in that way. There is beauty and happiness in each moment. We live in a tough world filled with so much pain and sorrow. But whatever religion we follow tells us that. This is no surprise. All we have to do is open our eyes to see the shit show. Our job is to rise above the sorrow and help as many people along with us as we can. Even the existentialists who don't believe in God believe that the world does not give us meaning. We give our own lives meaning. And we can do that in the best of times, and we could do that in the worst of times. I am A.F. Winter, and this has been Confusional Arousals.
Cross-dressing, flip the script. In the mirror, I take a sip. Swagger on, I can't resist. Feeling bold, I clench my fist. Breaking free from labels tight. Walking tall into the night. Whisper secrets all around, but my confidence is sound. Dressing crossly, feeling fine. Can't wait to tell the boss it's time. I'm a